Welcome to the Gen Z Marketer podcast, where we have marketing conversations and everything in between. Here we talk about marketing, branding, e commerce, and the power of integrated marketing communication. I'm your host, Jamia Umali, a strategist passionate and specializing in branding and marketing for e commerce. In this episode, we'll talk about how purpose driven brands make meaningful impact. Among the key elements of brand identity, why is purpose the one thing you cannot change? How important is purpose in brand identity? The research from this episode is from Harvard Business Review. Before we get to it, don't forget to support the show by following the podcast to get notified on the latest uploads. Many high growth companies use purpose to stay relevant in a fast changing world. Companies have long been encouraged to build purpose into what they do, but usually it's talked about as an add on, a way to create shared value, improve employee morale and commitment, give back to the community, and help the environment. But with committed leadership and financial investment, progressive brands had used it to generate sustained profitable growth, stay relevant in a rapidly changing world, and deepen ties with their stakeholders. Purpose plays two important strategic roles. It helps companies redefine the playing field, and it allowed them to reshape the value proposition. High growth companies, by contrast, don't feel limited to their current playing field. Instead, they think about the whole ecosystems, where connected interests and relationships among multiple stakeholders create more opportunities. But these firms don't approach ecosystems haphazardly. They let purpose be their guide. Because a purpose driven approach facilitates growth in new ecosystems, it allows companies to broaden their mission, create a holistic value proposition, and deliver lifetime benefits to customers. Leaders in companies that have effectively defined corporate purpose typically have done so with one of two approaches: retrospective or prospective. The retrospective approach builds on a firm's existing reason for being. It requires that you look back, codify organizational and cultural DNA, and make sense of the firm's past. The focus of the discovery process is internal. Where have we come from? How did we get here? What makes us unique to all stakeholders? Where does our DNA open up future opportunities we believe in? These are the kind of questions that leaders have to ask. The prospective approach, on the other hand, reshapes your reason for being. It requires you to look forward, take stock of the broader ecosystem in which you want to work, and assess your potential for impact in it. The idea is to make sense of the future and then start gearing up your organization for it. The focus is external, and leaders have to ask a different set of questions. Where can we go? Which trends affect our business? What new needs, opportunities, and challenges lie ahead? What role can we play that will open up future opportunities for ourselves that we believe in? The approach to purpose that we're recommending cannot be a one off effort. Leaders need to constantly assess how purpose can guide strategy, and they need to be willing to adjust or redefine this relationship as conditions change. So that was the excerpt of my favorite quotes from the Harvard Business Review article. And here's my key takeaways from this article and this webinar that I want you to remember as well. So, purpose is how you have a meaningful brand. I've previously talked about the difference between businesses and brands, in which we've said businesses are more transactional while brands are valuable and impactful. Businesses concern themselves with profit. Brands go beyond that by making meaningful impact in their customers' lives. You can change your mission, vision, and your products and services, but you don't change your purpose. It's what motivates you to get things done in your company, the guiding principle that inspires you and your employees across different teams. When you make decisions, you go back to your purpose and branding and how your purpose can help you make meaningful impact in your customers' lives. So I hope this episode made you think about your brand's purpose, whether you have one or whether you need to define one. So you can read the whole Harvard Business Review article where this episode is based from and view the webinar linked in the description of this episode. So, what did you think of this episode and what do you want to hear me talk about next? Let me know at the Gen Z Marketer Podcast on Facebook, at Gen Z MKT on Instagram, and at www.genzmkt.com.